It's day 4 of National Makers Week. I've made it halfway through. Today is the turning point. There's no looking back. Today I have a very special project. Many years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, my wife got me a bladesmithing class with Grendel in Vancouver. Awesome bladesmith. So while I was at that class, I made a knife, but I never put a handle on it. And this is a Damascus knife. I'll bring it closer so you can see the lines in it. If it will focus. Come on. There we go. So you can see that it's Damascus. I forged the billet, so we layered different types of steel. I don't remember what steel it was, but there were 2 different kinds of steel. We layered them, welded them together, folded them, welded them, folded it, welded it, put a twist in it, flattened it. Most of this was done with a power hammer because I just don't have that kind of endurance, strength and endurance. So I've always been meaning to put a handle on it, but I just have never gotten around to it. And so today I'm going to make a handle for this knife out of this red oak that I've got. So it'll be a nice red oak handle. I'm not even going to use close to all of this wood, but I'm just going to cut it into 2 blocks, cut a notch for the tang, and glue the 2 pieces together, and then start shaping it into the handle shape that fits my hand and is what I am looking for, or close enough to what I'm looking for. I have my red oak on the table saw, and I'm going to freehand this a bit. So I'm going to take about a hand's width of the wood, and I want the grain going the same direction as the knife, so the handle's coming out this way. I want the grain to go the same direction as the tang. So I only need really that much wood, but you want a little bit more for your hand. So about a hand's width, and I can always sand it down or cut it down after that if I need to. So we're just going to go about there. So I'm going to make 1 cut here and then turn this sideways and cut it about in half. So I'll have 2 pieces. I might do slightly, about half. Because I want to have a piece that comes down here so that my hand can lock into it without coming to right up on the blade. So cut it about here and then half. So I've got 2 pieces of red oak now. I'm just going to clamp them together and drill a hole for the tang. So the tang will sit in here. And then I'm going to epoxy it up and let it cure and then start shaping it. I have my handle blank clamped up. I've got about the right size drill bit in the drill press. I put a little piece of tape, it's clear so you probably can't see it too well, about the depth that I want to go down, and that's about the length of the tang of the knife. So now just gonna drill it. So now we have a hole, and this should accept the knife tang, and I'm probably going to have to chisel out the edge because it gets a little thicker there. So I'll just make a little chisel mark, and then I'm going to fill all this with epoxy when I go to clamp it up. So I'm just going to take my chisel and carve out a little bit here and here, a little bit here and here, and a little bit back on the back. So. I'm using a 2-part quick set epoxy. I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit onto this piece of scrap cardboard. I'll probably need a little bit more than that, but I can always mix up more. This way. Okay, and I need a little piece of scrap. Scrap wood is good for stirring implement. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need more of this cardboard soaking up some of the epoxy. Let's squeeze out a bunch. This is going to be used to both bind the pieces together and to fill in the spaces of my drill hole. So that should be good. I'm just going to smear it into the hole. Do the same for this one. Yeah, I'm going to need more epoxy. Lots of epoxy for this project. So I want to make sure I get the hole filled really well, and then spread just enough epoxy over the rest of the surface to get a good bond when I clamp it together. So now I'm going to stick these together. And drive my knife blade in. And I'm going to need to clamp that now. So the handle's all glued up. I'm going to cut out the rough shape with a jigsaw. I was going to use the scroll saw, but the wood wouldn't fit under the foot, and I can't remove the foot without going through too much trouble. So rough shape with the jigsaw, and then we'll take it to the sander. So I just looked, and I was going to cut through my screw if I was going to keep it up like that. But it looks like with the knife re-clamped further back, I should avoid that altogether. So, rough cuts. So I burned it there a little bit, but it's much closer to the shape that I want. I'm probably going to get this a bit closer here over at the sander. And I'm going to try to keep this flat plane relatively close to the top of the knife. And then there's just going to be a lot more taken out of the base here. Now for the real work. So there we have it. I'm quite happy with the shape of this. I did get a little bit of a gap right up here between the wood and the knife. I'm going to switch to a finer sandpaper. This one's really aggressive, and it'll just soften up some of these rough patches here. And I'm probably going to take the glue off from here just by quick run with the sander. But I'm super pleased with how that handle turned out. And once I get some stain and some finish, some sort of protectant, sealant, it'll look amazing. The grain will stand out and it'll look awesome. So I'm gonna call this a completed project. I think that looks awesome. Day 4 of Maker's Week is in the bag. I have a homemade knife handle to go with my homemade knife. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And be sure to check out all the other videos I've got on my channel and see what else I'm up to during Maker's Week. Thanks for watching. Bye.